Hello and welcome to the United Man. My name is Shane. Today we're going to be going through what I believe Solskjaer's transfer plan has been revealed. So today we're going to be getting into that and a lot more. Okay guys, let's go. So, Solskjaer transfer plan revealed. We have now signed two players. Those two players being Daniel James and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as we all know. They're finally over the line, but we've still got a long way to go. But I believe based on the players that we've signed, we've kind of seen an indicator based on what Solskjaer's plan is in terms of going forward. As we're all very much aware already, all the players are on holiday at the moment, doing their training, as you've seen on some of the social media, some are training and some are having a nice time, whatever, what have you. But what does that mean in terms of us getting more transfers over the line? Obviously, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was around because he wasn't even around. He was away with the under-21s. They give him special dispensation to come and get this deal done. But for the rest of the other players that aren't sort of British based or based in England, it's going to be a lot harder to get some of those other deals over the line, i.e. Bruno Fernandes. But what I wanted to touch on, the first major point of what I believe to be Solskjaer's transfer plan is, look at the players we've signed. Look at what he's kind of implemented already with Manchester United over the last 6 months of him being in charge. Put down a couple of bits. Speed. His ethos is, especially in the attacking areas, he wants speed. We've seen that in terms of how he's deployed Rashford, how he's deployed Martial and Lukaku at times. Now, along with that, he's focusing on youth, and that being based on what we already have, i.e. Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez, Mason Greenwood. So clearly he's focusing on youth and speed as just two of the main assets going forward. He's also looking at the technical ability in terms of what a player can bring to the team. So that's speed, youth, and technical ability. So in terms of the signings that we've brought in already, obviously Daniel James being a speed merchant and obviously technically proficient, and obviously Aaron Wan-Bissaka is obviously technically good and very good physically in terms of his speed and power as well. I believe what he's looking for is not so much in terms of the attributes that you can write down on a piece of paper. It's more a hunger to play, a hunger to, I know people said it, but to wear the shirt and run through brick walls, which we don't have enough of at the moment at all. So you can see it in the lackadaisical play, albeit, players think they've made it or they are the big am already. Who we've signed so far, Daniel James and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Man United, for them, it is the pinnacle. It is where they want to be. It's what they dreamed of. So to a lot of players and a lot of young players, that's what they want to do. They want to be at clubs like Manchester United, as you would have heard in Wan-Bissaka's interview earlier today. Part of one of the clues, though, however, in terms of identifying what Solskjaer is actually trying to build through his transfers and what's already at the squad, is by the massive fact that we've obviously turned down the opportunity to sign Gareth Bale, who's an obvious want away from Real Madrid. Now, a couple of seasons ago, if not last season or last summer even with Mourinho, would have killed or given our right arm to get Bale in. But yeah, it looks like we've turned down the opportunity to bring him in. Now, that, if nothing else, is a clear indicator on which direction we're trying to go in. Now, that really does show you that we're going away from the Galacticos names or the big massive name signings, and we are looking to build from the ground up, i.e. being linked with Sean Longstaff. Players like that where you can mould but already have the core abilities in terms of technically and physically, and it's the mental, like I said, in terms of wanting to be hungry to play and want to play for the shirt as well. One of the obvious things that we'll be missing, unfortunately, with just having a ton of youth in the side, is experience and leadership. Unless you come across a 1 in a million player, i.e. Matthias de Ligt, who is now going to Juventus, you're going to end up with not so much leadership going through the side and experience. Experience is something that you can gain as you go on, and is not necessarily attributed to age. But more than likely, you're going to be lacking in leadership due to the inexperience and also players being within themselves because they're young. They're not understanding the nuances of the game and what's around them. Obviously, you've got natural born leaders, but they're few and far between. But that's one thing we're going to lack, obviously, having such a young side going forward. At this point, guys, wanted to get your input and ask you a couple of questions. First of all, do you guys feel this is the right way to go in terms of the actual Manchester United rebuild? Do you think we should just be going towards youth and obviously lacking in experience and leadership, or do you feel that we should be signing some big name players that are ready-made now, or if not all ready-made players, and going away from youth? Also, what do you think about the new signings we've made already? Obviously, it's only two. It's only Daniel James and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But let me know what you guys think as well. Who do you think we should sign next as well? We, as I say before, we're looking like we're just going down one road at the minute in terms of who we're signing and what type of ethos we're trying to bring into the club. But who do you think we should sign next? Do you think we should continue on with the current ethos that Solskjaer's obviously going down? Or do you believe that we should go a different way and maybe go for Gareth Bale, who is obviously available, or Hakim Ziyech, or my personal favourite, Bruno Fernandes? Let me know below as well. And before we move on, don't forget to subscribe and share with any other Man United supporters. With everything being said, I believe we are taking the correct steps in terms of the rebuild. Now, there's obviously a long, long way to go from this point, but so far, so good. Only thing I would say is just it's taken way too much time just to get these guys over the line and signed and sealed and delivered. We're taking baby steps towards fixing Manchester United, and as I said before, I do go into more detail about that in my other video. All that being said, I do believe Solskjaer's made the correct move in terms of stating that he wanted all of his signings in and ready for the beginning of pre-season, which would have been ideal. That is Monday, and it's not going to happen, unfortunately, but I believe it's the right move because we do need to set guidelines and deadlines in regards to what we want to do and what we're trying to do. So it does it does two things. It shows our incapabilities in regards to getting transfer dealings done, even though Solskjaer would have obviously made them aware of his targets a long time ago. And two, which is the more prominent point, it really does, if I'm honest, it shows that Solskjaer has a short-term and a long-term plan, which is the most crucial thing. He's got a very good understanding of what he wants to do and what he needs to do, and the players he needs to bring in to bring back the success to Manchester United. That being said, guys, that's all from me for today. If you can, share this video with other Manchester United fans and supporters, and like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.